Hi there, everybody. So today what we've got is a review of a Longines 43 millimeter Hydroconquest. This watch I've had in my collection enough and long enough to be able to give you guys some really good insight that I wanted to share that you may find useful, and I hope this video does great. So without further ado, let's get right into the review. The watch itself, as I unbox it, is stainless steel, is the case material. The crown is a screw down. Water resistance is 300 meters. The movement type, of course, is automatic. The movement that's inside of this sucker is a caliber L888, which is an ETA variant movement, though heavily modified with a 72-hour power reserve. And I'll get into the why that is really on point and phenomenal for this watch. This one comes with, again, this was bought from an AD. Warranties 2 years from the manufacturer. It's just an hours, minutes, and seconds, and as well as a date window for functionality. And that covers off the specifications. The cool part is that this gets you into a ceramic bezel dive watch, automatic from a horological standpoint, from a company that has great history in Longines. And again, the value is just phenomenal, in my opinion. The box, just so that everybody knows, very nicely done. Pretty straightforward box from Longines. Underneath the box flap, of course, here you have your books, and you're going to have your instructions for use. Longines puts the actual international warranty card in the back of their booklets, just so that you know, different companies do things differently. But again, pretty straightforward there. So we'll put the box aside. It does come in a beautiful display, soft touch. I don't know if it's real leather, but again, it feels really nice to the touch. And again, here's the watch itself. So this is the 43 millimeter. Now, the only watch that I have that would be of this similar size, and this was my biggest concern with this watch, was being a 43 millimeter watch and then a fairly pronounced crown. I had read about this being a little bit sharp for those that may have children or be wearing the watch around really little ones too. It is fairly sharp. So if you're, I know it sounds like an odd one, but it is applicable just if this is going to be your daily. If you're, changing a diaper or whatever it may be, and your little one gets, you could actually, I would say this is sharp enough and aggressive enough that if you caught it, you could actually scratch skin. Though not sharp, definitely more aggressive and can definitely sharp, just pinch a little bit there. Great thing about this watch itself is that the ceramic bezel, so at this price point, I don't know of another watch that I've had or know others that have had it, where you're into a ceramic bezel where the feedback is just phenomenal on this. This was actually my first, I guess, ceramic bezel watch. I have a couple, but the feedback on it, I mean, you can't beat it, guys. Just in regards to the actual feel it has, the indicators, the way it actually holds its finish, and I really think Longines nailed this. For what you're getting at a price point that you really can't beat, and you do not find this kind of a bezel unless you're, up in quite a few levels in cost for a diver. The actual bracelet here, I'll just get it off here. Clasp on the back, pretty standard fly clasp. Just take it off there. It does have a dive extension, though out of my few qualms, and I mean, again, the value on this watch is absolutely phenomenal. It's the fact that the dive extension isn't as good as, let's say, I've seen, or as dependable as, let's say, an Omega Planet Ocean or a Omega 300 SMP. From an extension standpoint, I've actually had this when I've gone to extend it, the pin pop out. And you definitely don't want that if you're, putting on your dive suit or what may have you. But a lot of people don't use that function on these divers, especially if you aren't truly using the watch for the intention in which it was made, which is diving. I myself actually have. And with this watch, the only negative piece that I would say is the lume is not as intense or high, and we'll get a lume shot later here in the review. The lume would not hold, nor do I find it as brilliance in lighting as some of my other divers. But the feedback off of the bezel, as previously mentioned, the large indices that are raised, the large 12, 9, and 6 that also have lume, and I think it seems like the same amount of lume as the indicators and the hour and minute hand, as well as the seconds hand. I'm really, really impressed with this watch, everybody. I would highly recommend it to anybody in the market for a dive watch, even if you're just wearing it casually on wrist. Like I said, the largest watch I had before this in my collection was a 42.5, call it 43, and this is a 43. Now, I would say that it's just on that piece for me anyhow, where the lugs are almost reaching the edge of my wrist. But I really have enjoyed wearing this watch. It is visibly a 43 millimeter, I will say that, comparative to, I've got some 37s, 39, mostly 40s and 41s. But it is noticeably a little bit larger. Nice big dial. So out of the 43 millimeters, you do get nice dial diameter without compromising that nice bezel. That's got to be the piece. Now, this is in the green version, which I think Longines just nailed it. It's almost... I've worn this with a suit. I've worn this casually. I've worn it a ton. So, when you look at it, it's worked in all situations. And what I love the most about it is when I'm out and about, whether I be in an office setting or in a recreational setting, I am not worried about this watch at all. It is a absolute beast. And it can take a beating and still look great. Of course, because of the polished centers of the links, those will get scratched up, as any polished center link is more privy than the non-polished option. But, when you look at it, I think that this thing is just a great value for your dollar. It really does give you many options. And as well, when you're wearing it, it's just high quality, great price point, and then you're not stressing out about dinging it. Even if it were to get damaged, you're not, I didn't have that feeling with this watch like I've had with my other ones. And I didn't necessarily have to compromise on the feel or the wearability or even the compliments I've received on this watch. It plays in the light. It even adjusts on the things that you wear. I found if I wore some things that had green in it or lighter colors, it really pops nicely. And then if I was wearing grays and darks and blacks, it almost would take on that darker green tinge, and almost look black in certain situations where it was hard to tell. But there you have it, everybody. This is the Longines Hydroconquest 43 millimeter ceramic bezel option. Again, I'll have some more reviews coming, but this watch, again, like I said, I'd highly recommend, and I truly do think in my journey, this has been one of the best value purchases for me, from A to Z usage and just enjoyment level. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.